Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing this look right here using the Morphe and James Charles Unleash Your Inner Artist, I think that's what it's called, is the palette here. It is a matte black with like shiny like writing in his name. I love the fact that it's matte black because I have the Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette and it's white and I'm OCD and I have to scrub it every time I use it. It gets so dirty being a makeup artist. So I just love this. It has 39 shadows, 38 or 39, I didn't count. I think it's about 38 shadows in there. Big pans in the centre, and then you've all your little colourful eyeshadows and some glam ones as well. I'll give my thoughts at the end of this tutorial on what I think of the palette. So if you want to see what I think and how I created this look, then keep on watching and I'll show you how. Okay, so I was just playing around because I just wanted to see the gist of the look that I'm going to do. So this isn't finished. Don't judge me yet, please. Thank you. I'm just making sure that my base is still nice and tacky because I'm not setting the base. I want the most pigment out of these shadows and give it a fair try. I don't set my base usually, so I'm not going to set it today. I just want to make sure it's nice and tacky because I've done the base first. So the first shade we're going to go in with is this shade here, and it's called Escape. And I'm using that on a Zoeva 227 brush. So dipping into that dark purple shade. This is super pigmented and it is so easy to blend. What I love about it is it's a true purple. So some purples like blend out to like a blue or like a pink. I don't think this really blends out to like a blue or a pink. It kind of just blends out to like a lilac-y purple, which is beautiful because it's really hard to find like a true purple. So I'm really happy with this shade. So I'm literally just using a Zoeva 227 brush and I'm starting to just pack it on. So I'm kind of just pressing it on to begin with and keeping it in that like lower corner because we have a lot of shadows left to blend with. So I'm literally just getting this base colour down first and then we'll blend it out. So just packing. And then I'm kind of starting to bring it in towards that inner corner. And then the next shade that we're going to go in with, we're going to mix two shades. So I'm going to mix Skip and Love That. We're taking that on a Nima Debs brush. Literally just dipping into both of them. And I'm just actually stamping the pink on top of the purple. Because we just want it to be really pigmented and then we can blend later. It's just right around that purple shade. I've had no fallout so far with the shades, and usually with colours you do have a lot of fallout, I find, to get them really pigmented, but these have very little fallout, which is good. The shadow is like pressed nicely, it's not too soft and it's not too hardly pressed. You still get a nice amount of pigment but you're not getting like loads of kickback. Going back in with that purple, dark purple shade that we used in the beginning. I'll list all the names down below for you and the brushes and any products that I use in the video. I'll list it down below in the description. Not taking any extra product. I'm just starting to kind of soften the edges with the side that's like a bit cleaner that we didn't really dip our brush into. Just softening out the edges just a little bit so that when we go in with another shade that it's a little bit easier to blend. Just blending that out. But so far these eyeshadows are blending like a dream. Basically finish this eye off camera, so we're going to go in to this eye now. And just to finish it off, I like to do one eye off camera for you because I like to know how to explain it, and I feel like once I've done one side I can explain the best way to do it for yous, and any mistakes I've made I can like tell yous not to make them, because this is my first time doing the look. I don't do the look beforehand, so this is like my little practice and then I can tell yous exactly what needs to be done. Shade 518 and the shade Rusted, and I'm going to mix them two together just to create my perfect orange shade for this look. And we're taking that on a little bit of a fluffier brush this time, so this is the Nima Nicola brush. I like touch it on the top of that pink shade, and I'm taking like little bits at a time and just really working up the product. And I'm not really blending as such yet, like I'm using really small little circle motions just to get it smooth onto the skin. I go back in with Love That and Skip, and I'm just blending the pink back in, because sometimes like when you go in with your next step of a eyeshadow colour you lose the colour before, so you want to go back in and make sure you can still see that pink shade. And again, going back in with your purple. I don't like to cut out these parts of the eyeshadow, like I could and make it nice and quick for you to watch, but I do want to show you that like it is a lot about blending and going back in with your colours to get like a perfect eyeshadow look and to get a really pigmented and to stand out. It takes time and it's a constant going back and forth with your colours just to get that blend right. And then to blend out the oranges, I'm going to go in with this shade here called B on a teeny tiny brush. It's the kind of same technique as well, tiny little circular motions right up to the brow bone. This is a really blown out look. I love that. I hate structure as such in eyeshadow. Maybe because I'm not good at it. Like when I see someone's eye looks and they're really structured, I'm like, whoa, that's talent. But I just love everything really blown out and soft and just like a painting. And then making sure you're getting like right in this inner corner too. Then going in with a completely clean brush. This is a blank canvas E92 brush, and I'm just going around the edges just to soften everything and blend it into the skin, because everything has a colour to blend into except for the last colour, so I always go in with like a clean brush and do that. I'm happy with it. I just want to go in a little bit more with a little bit of purple in here, because I found once I put down the green I couldn't really go back in and I felt like I needed a little bit more purple. So go in with a little bit extra purple than you think you need, because the green kind of hides it. So what I'm going to use first is this Stila Shimmer and Glow liquid eyeshadow, and it is in the shade La Douche, La Douche, but it's like a beautiful gold green shade, and I'm going to just start putting that on the lid. These are quite like wet feeling when they go on first and then they dry down, but I'm not like packing it on yet, because I'm going to use just this clean brush, and it's a little small kind of flat shader brush, and I'm using that to kind of blend the Stila shadow so that it's not just like harsh glitter. I want it just to look really soft and blended. You could use this to like cut the crease as well, but I'm not really into that, to be honest. I like it just looking quite soft, not really structured. And this is going to be a base for our neck shade from the palette. I'm just blending that edge as well into the purple, just to set that Stila liquid eyeshadow and give it a little bit more of a pop. I'm going to go in with the shade Guac. I love that name and it's such a beautiful colour. I'm going to start pressing it on top of the Stila eyeshadow. It just gives the Guac shade a really lovely base and just makes it a little bit more intense, I feel. And that I won't like budge, because I have quite like hooded eyes. When I open my lid it's like everywhere, so this just gives it that little bit extra stick and it'll last longer on the eyes. Just patting the edges, kind of flicking towards, so you're getting a nice soft gradient on that outer corner. Okay, so we are going to move on to the face and then we will come back to the eyes. First thing that I'm going to go in with is strobe cream, because this is my favourite for hydrating my skin. I'm just going to take like a pea-sized amount and rub it in between my fingers, and then I just like to apply it all over the skin. Kind of like pan it in. I know rubbing is actually really bad for your skin, but I just feel like I need to rub it all in. So the next step that I'm going to do is some Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 6 because I'm a little bit more tan. So I use shade 3 when I'm not as tan, but this is definitely like my summer shade. I use like a damp beauty blender. This is the Morphe sponge and I'm just blending that in. I actually wore this yesterday on Instagram. I was on like my Instagram stories and loads of people were asking me what I had on my skin, and it was just this and a little bit of concealer, and it's lovely. It gives you a nice glow. So this isn't necessary, but sometimes I'll go in with O3 just on the high points, like literally just go like boop. This just gives the nicest base ever. Foundation, again, I'm kind of in between shades at the minute, so I'm going to take Stromboli and a little pinch of Syracuse just to deepen up my Stromboli. I'll just apply that to my skin. I've been really loving this foundation lately. I just love that it's full coverage, but it's not drying on my skin, so it's beautiful. It just gives a lovely finish. I can't believe that I've only like recently jumped on the NARS bandwagon. I feel really silly because the products are so good. I think it's because they start selling it in Arnott's, like on the north side, where you used to only be able to get it in Brown Thomas, and there's no pennies on the south side. So I used to never really be over that side unless I was going for like lunch or something. I should have took my earrings out. Oh well. Yes, I just never really went up that end unless I had to. So going in now with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I'm just running that underneath my eyes. I just use like one dip and that does my kind of whole face. Sometimes I can go overboard with concealer and I just think it's not nice. I just like to use a little bit, so I try and restrict myself to just dipping it in once, because it does do you. And then just using the other side of my beauty sponge and just kind of blend that in. I've been really loving this Morphe sponge. Like, I have two original beauty blenders and I actually haven't even reached for them. I'm quite fussy with beauty blenders too, so I've tried some and they've been shocking, like so bad. But this one is really good and it's like half the price. I think it's like €12. It's so handy because I bought this when I was in New York and I was like, oh, I'll never get it again because it was from the Morphe store. But Pretty Little Thing and Cloud 10 have them, I'm nearly sure. Cloud 10 has them. I like to let it cook a little bit on my nose before I blend. What I've been loving recently, this is a new product. I don't think I've used it on my channel before. It's the Kiko Cream Bronzer. And it's actually not cream bronzer, it's a cream foundation. And I just find it's lovely. It's the darkest shade they have in the range, I'm nearly sure. And it's my perfect bronzing shade. Which is a pity they don't go actually darker, because it's not like that dark. It's dark enough to bronze me though, but it isn't dark. So I'm just applying that everywhere I want. I'm using a Nima CJ brush. The hairs on this brush is just perfection for blending out your cream contour. What I love about this, it's a cream foundation, so it literally just blends into your own foundation underneath so beautifully. It lasts really long, gives a little bit extra coverage. It just keeps your makeup on really well, and it wears well throughout the day, and it just blends easy. And sometimes cream contours are quite like ashy, so I like the way this is like more of a bronzer rather than a contour. So I just pat it into the skin, flicking upwards. I like to bring it onto the cheeks too, because it gives you like just a nice bronzy finish. And I'll bring it onto the nose now. I'll just blend out my nose first. I'm going to see the Avengers Endgame. I'm so excited. Not tonight. Actually, this would be perfect look. But not tonight. I'm going on Sunday. I'm bringing my little nephew. He's so excited about it because I stayed in his house last weekend. I didn't think I'd be into the Avengers, and we watched it on the last one, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to see it with you. He's so cute. He's after setting up his own YouTube channel. I'm gonna link it, and if you could subscribe to his channel, it'd literally make his life. He's only 8 and he's actually better than me. I don't even know how he did it. He's doing like kind of like a gaming channel, and I don't know how he even was able to record like him playing the game and put it up all by himself. Like, I was like to my sister, you definitely helped him, and she was like, no, like I watched him do it because obviously he's 8, and she was like, but he was well able, like he done everything, like she was like, I don't know how he did it. So he's so cute. He'll have more subscribers now than me soon. So I'm just going into like my nose contour now, and I just go down the sides with like a little kind of flat brush, and then I'll just use like a eyeshadow brush to blend it out, just a small enough eyeshadow brush, and we're gonna just blend that out. And then if worse comes to worse and it's not looking well, which nail contour is tricky, I just get my beauty blender and just press along the sides, and this just blends it in for you. Okay, so the last step before I go back to the eyes is some setting powder. Any fallout does fall down, I can just swipe it away, but I haven't actually experienced any fallout yet with the palette, but sometimes on the under eyes I can be a little bit messy, so just in case. So I'm going in with the Laura Mercier, and this is their translucent powder. I used to hate this powder, I think I said this before, but I never liked this powder until I start using it with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and now I just love it. And I use my damp beauty sponge just to set my under eyes with it, and I just find it's beautiful now. But I don't know what concealer I was using before. I think it was either the Shape Tape concealer or the Urban Decay Naked, but it just did not work well whatsoever. And maybe it could have been a sponge as well, because I used to use my beauty blender. Now I don't know, but this just seems to all work together. I don't know why, but it does, and I'm not going to question it because it looks so smooth and nice and perfect, so I'm happy with that. I like to set my moustache area as well because I get a little sweaty sometimes there during the day. Not that I'll be wearing this look out as such, but you know. In with that dark purple shade that we used in the beginning, I am just taking that on a Zoeva 237 detailed shader brush, and I'm going as close to the lash line as I can to begin with before we blend it out. It's the most pigmented purple shade I've ever used. It is so good, and I'm just obsessed with it. On the inner corner then, I've only one little detailed brush. I am a makeup artist and I keep all of my good stuff in the salon to work on people, and my own makeup just be like shit, and just whatever is there is what I'll use. So I've only one of these, so we're going to clean it off and use it on the inner corner. If there's any makeup artists watching, let me know if you're the same, but I just love having the nicest stuff in my kit, and then whatever's left for me is fine. I'm not fussy. I wouldn't do my makeup a lot because I do other people's. I just like to focus on them. Sorry, I didn't even tell you what shades I was using. I got too carried away. I'm using these two shades. I'm after losing the name, like the sheet of names that I have, so I'll put it in the description bar down below, but it's these two blues. So now I'm taking Love That and Skip, and I'm just going to run that right under as well, connecting that onto the outer corner as well. Going in with that 518 and Rusted on a Nima Kate brush. Run that right under the pink and then up into the blue as well, because I love blue and orange together. Okay, so to blend out that orange, we're going in with the shade B again on the same brush. This brush is so nice. It's brilliant for under the eye and on the eye as well. And I'm just running it over kind of the orange to kind of blend it out and just brighten it up. And around the edges too, because we've lost a bit of our edge because we put foundation on. Get that inner corner nice and bright. I'm going in with like a tiny, teeny pinch of the P. Louise eyeshadow base, and I'm just using a Nima Ollie brush, and I'm literally just taking the smallest amount off the back of my hand, and I'm just going to press it on that inner corner just to give it like a little bit of a sticky base again, and just to clean up any kind of shadow that is in there, so it just brightens it nicely up. Again, you could do with this with just a white, which I do have the P. Louise white eyeshadow base. That's what I would use, the white base, but again, that's in the salon with all of my good stuff. So we're going to go in with the shade Flashback from the palette. It's the big huge white shade, and I'm just going to pat it over the P. Louise base, and this is just to brighten it up. This white is lovely, it's really pigmented and it shows up really well, so you can use this to like dilute your eyeshadows to make them like more pastel or like a little bit lighter or something, which is lovely to have in the palette. So I'm going to put on some bottom mascara, and then we're going to finish off the face. So I'm just going to finish the face off really quickly. I'm going to go in with some MAC Give Me Some bronzer, and I'm just pressing that over the cream bronzer. So I'm using the MAC Extra Dimension blush in the shade Telling Glow, and I'm using a Nima Harley brush. Yeah, Harley brush. And I am just going to sweep that blush across my skin. I'm going to use this shade in the palette called Face. I'm going to use that to highlight my skin. So I'm just dipping in using a Nima Maria brush, and I'm just going to, ooh, it's pigmented. I'm going to just use my finger, see if it blends in a little bit easier. Oh, it's blinding on camera. It's actually lovely. So you wouldn't even need a highlight if you had this palette, and it's nice and big too. And you could use this like for your inner corner highlight as well. Oh, I'm impressed with that. I'm really liking the highlighter. It reminds me of kind of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. Oh god, that's strong. Blend out. Yeah, it's really, really fab. So for the palette alone, like getting a highlight like that is actually brilliant. So I'm gonna put my lips on, and then we will do our final thoughts and what I think of the palette. Okay, so that is the finished look. I hope that you really enjoyed it. It's something kind of colourful and just exciting and something different than what I would wear all the time. But for festivals and stuff, I think that you could really get away with it. But I just got so inspired when I seen the colours, and I just needed to do something colourful. But if you just want to see a neutral tutorial, I'll definitely do that for you, even like on Instagram stories or something like that. But yeah, so let's get into the review of the palette. So the palette is just absolutely beautiful. You've every shade that you would need. I feel that as a makeup artist, this palette is just absolutely ideal for your kit. You've all of your colours, like a rainbow of colours that you can even mix to create different colours. You've all your neutrals, and they're so big, and these are the colours that I tend to use most as a makeup artist in my kit. I fly through these, so I'm actually gonna love that row for my kit as well. You've all like your glam shades at the top and some shimmers, some really beautiful, like beautiful shimmers. They are so nice. So all around, all of the colours that I used today blended absolutely beautifully for me. I didn't have any trouble with any of them. I feel like this is my favourite colour eyeshadow palette that there is. I don't know why I'm holding it up like a pizza. I feel like this is definitely one of my favourite colourful eyeshadow palettes that I have in my collection. I'm actually going to buy a fresh one so that I have it in my personal kit and have it in my makeup kit as well. So I'll keep that for me, and I will buy a fresh one for my makeup kit because I just think it's essential for me to have it now. Really get my use out of it. So yeah, I just absolutely adore the palette. If you're a makeup artist, it's up to you. It's your money at the end of the day, but I really think that you need this palette. I just find it's the best quality eyeshadow palette that I've used with colours. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video. Any questions, just leave them below, and yeah, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.